In today's video, we'll be leaving Bora Bora, riding a high we couldn't quite put into words. The kind of high that only comes after checking off a dream that's lived in your bones for years.
Dream come true.
Crystal waters, sunsets that don't even look real, and a birthday celebration never to be forgotten. Absolute paradise, but paradise doesn't always prepare you for what's coming. We're about to set sail on a route from Bora Bora to Vanuatu, 24 days at sea. One ocean that doesn't play by anyone's rules. We've sailed over 20,000 nautical miles, but the Pacific still knows how to humble us. We are soon to learn. But this ocean isn't just big, it's polarizing. Pacific is the largest, the deepest, the most island-filled ocean on Earth. Magellan once named it for its peace. Those who sail it long enough come to know its contradictions. Stillness so quiet it feels sacred. Conditions that shift before your eyes. Beauty that steals your breath. And breakdowns that catch you off guard. These waters cradle coral kingdoms and remote paradises. They also test your patience, your equipment, and your ability to always stay calm when things don't go to plan. We didn't know it yet, but this passage, well, it was about to test us. Test our resilience, our rhythm, and everything we thought we had under control. They say it's all about the journey, but what they don't say is how that journey might just remake you, strip you down, and then build you back stronger, sharper, and maybe even more alive than before. So y'all, here's the 24 days at sea. One dream in our wake and another just over the horizon.
Sean says port and forward, so he can pull the mooring ball up. Looks like he is pulling the mooring ball up. Ay, ay, ay.
Just put it in neutral.
Yep, we're in neutral. It feels so pleasant. I'm so sad to leave Bora Bora. I love it here, but I'm excited to go onwards and see what lies ahead. But this is my new favorite place that we've ever sailed to, ever. Not necessarily the Anchorage. The other side of the island is like the true Bora Bora. We have just pulled up the mooring ball. Well, Sean did while I was behind the helm. Everything is set. Dinghy is up. We are sadly leaving my new favorite place in the whole entire world that we've ever sailed to, Bora Bora. But we have about 2,400 nautical miles to go until we get to Vanuatu. So that's where we're headed now. Be at sea for a couple weeks. Oh, but I did want to say the Ark is getting here tomorrow, so we are staying a little bit ahead of the Ark. That way it's not going to be too crowded because we're leaving and they're coming tomorrow.
All right, y'all, it's a little squally day. We've had a couple squalls here and there come through this morning while we're getting everything ready to go. It looks like we got a clear break in the weather. We're going to get out of this Bora Bora Pass while we got a clear shot and get out to sea. Just where good old Tellaroo wants to be, y'all. We are headed to the remote, stunning island of Vanuatu.
Goodbye, Bora Bora. We love you so much. And there's a boat, just your fun, there's a boat there.
Y'all, here we are on a magical morning on our way from Bora Bora to Vanuatu. Seeing the amazing sunrises out here at sea never gets old. It's always stunning and always amazing, and it's always humbling. And on mornings like these, when I see that flag, the good old red, white, and blue, it reminds me vividly that that stands for freedom. And it's so fitting for a morning like this because out here on the open ocean, there's an overwhelming feeling of freedom. It's the freedom of the seas, and it's very hard to explain unless you experience it. And with over 20,000 miles under the keel of good old Tellaroo, I can tell you all one thing. Taking in the stunning natural wonders of the world on your own boat, one wave at a time, never gets old, and to me is the ultimate feeling of freedom. And that's what makes what we do out here at sea, sailing around the world, one wave at a time, so incredibly worth it and so incredibly humbling.
After having stayed in an Airbnb for a couple of days in Bora Bora, I personally needed to get my sea legs back. I'm not used to staying on land, so it definitely threw me out of whack. So later in the day, on day 2 of our passage to Vanuatu, when these beautiful creatures showed up, it felt like such a dreamy golden hour at sea. No stress, just the sound of waves and the splash of dolphins. The days started out calm enough. Bright skies, a decent breeze, but the sea was whispering something. Not loud, just a quiet shift. A little more motion, a little more force beneath the hull. We were making incredible time, and it felt like Tellaroo was flying. Kind of rhythm every sailor hopes to find, where boat, wind, and crew all move in sync. But ahead of us, just over the horizon, the southern edge of Tonga was getting slammed. The kind of weather that you absolutely do not want to meet out at sea. And yet, all the signs pointed in our favor. The forecast showed the system moving on. We checked it constantly, crossed our fingers, and leaned on experience. We've sailed over 20,000 nautical miles, and that kind of mileage teaches you to, yes, trust your gut, but also to stay humble, because you know what? Forecasts, they are not promises, they are suggestions. And the Pacific Ocean, well, she does not take suggestions. We pressed on, and there was no obvious place to run. We were too far along, committed and all in. The weather started to shift. The winds built and the sea grew. We were officially in the outer bands of the system. Not the eye, but close enough to feel it flex. The last wind speed we clocked was 47 knots, but it got heavier, wetter, and wilder. It felt like the kind of wind that doesn't just push your sails, it pushes you. This is where things changed, not in a panic kind of way, but in a strap in and figure it out kind of way. The adventure was not canceled, it was just entering a new chapter. We made a decision, one born from a place of skill, calm, and respect for the sea, the boat, and ourselves. We decided to heave to. And for those of y'all who don't sail, heaving to is what sailors do when they need to pause without a port in sight. It's a technique to steady the boat, to stop forward progress and ride things out, to wait. You back the sail and then you angle the rudder in the opposite direction. The forces opposing each other create this delicate balance. The boat mostly holds her place, gently drifting gracefully through the chaos. It's counterintuitive in a world that tells us to push harder, go faster, stay in motion. Heaving to teaches the opposite, to wait with wisdom and trust the process. And we actually ended up needing to stay like that for over 30 hours, letting the storm move through, letting Tellaroo breathe, and letting us breathe. If it doesn't look dramatic on camera, that's because we did not film the worst of it. The cameras were down and focus was up. Sometimes that's just how it goes out here. But here's the thing, this was not actually a low point. It wasn't a failure. It was part of our journey. Every mile that we sail shapes us. Every tough call we make becomes part of the story. And every time we face a moment like this, we come out stronger, smarter, more in sync with the ocean, and more in sync with each other. Out here, resilience is not optional. It's the currency of the sea. And this time, we paid in full, and we did indeed come out stronger on the other side. And on that note, we'll see y'all next time on Sailing Tellaroo as we continue sailing onwards to Vanuatu.